I'm William Kumwembe, and I welcome you to yet another edition of the program Business Time right here on Times Television. This is a magazine program in which we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in Malawi and beyond. Coming up in the program, IMF revises Malawi's GDP growth upwards, and EU challenges accountants on professionalism. We have these and other stories. Stay tuned if you could.
Now you can access the Daily Times, Malawi News, and the Sunday Times newspapers anytime, anywhere, by the click of a mouse or a swipe on your smartphone. With eTimes, right on your mobile gadget. Flip through the pages with a swipe or a click. Navigate through all pages and see clear pictures and designs. Access a database of previous papers of the Daily Times, Malawi News, and the Sunday Times. Easy. Subscribe now to eTimes. Go to www.times.mw/e-edition. Sign up and log in. Enter your password and enjoy the newspaper. It's about time.
In our main story in the program today, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has said the Malawi economy is going to grow by 5% in 2019, owing to expected bumper yield in agriculture and improved electricity supply. Chimwemwe Mangazi has the whole story.
This came out at the sidelines of a press conference on the performance of the economy under the extended credit facility on Wednesday in Lilongwe, which found government wanting in public expenditures over the first half of the 2018-2019 financial year. IMF Mission Chief for Malawi, Prita Mitra, said Malawi's economic outlook is favorable and economic growth is projected to reach about 5%, but may continue to grow in the medium to long term.
I'd like to begin by sharing my heartfelt condolences and sympathy for the loss of lives and livelihoods in Malawi's recent devastating floods. Notwithstanding these tragic floods, we do see Malawi's economic outlook as favorable. Economic growth is projected to reach about 5% in 2019, supported by a rebound in agriculture and some improvement in electricity generation. Over the medium term, growth could rise further to 6 to 7%, driven by infrastructure projects, crop diversification, greater access to finance, and an improved business climate. Inflation is expected to ease to around 8% by the end of this year, and then gradually to around 5% over the medium term.
The news excited Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Development, Gudo Gondwe, who all along has been saying GDP growth may grow up to 7% this year, and was compelled to say growth may reach 9% in 2019.
They thought that we were going to have 4.1% in 2019. Now they're saying 5%. They never really used the word 7, the figure 7% before, but they're saying that in the medium term we could reach 7%. And I've been saying that for quite some time, and none of you believed me. I think that now I can even move upwards myself and say that we can even reach 9% again if things move the way they are happening now. Your country is doing extremely well, as said by the outsiders. We've had this good report from the IMF. We had a particularly very, very good, favorable report from the Millennium Challenge account, and the World Bank as well. We have had a scrutiny by the EU to look at whether we could have a possibility of doing a number of things with them. And they came out with a very good report. So we are getting very good reports by the outside commentators, but not so much as from you guys. And that's good that you are urging us to do even more, better and better, and I like that.
The new projection signifies a 0.9% increase from the fund's initial prediction of a GDP growth of 4.1% this year. From Lilongwe, I am Chimwemwe Mangazi.
One of the country's internet service providers, Globe Internet Limited, has expanded the reach of its fourth-generation 4G internet services to Salima and Mangochi districts. Globe Internet Chief Commercial Officer Elias Iman said the move was in reaction to requests from the customers in those areas. We have the detail in this report.
According to Imani, the coming of 4G internet will help boost businesses in Mangochi and Salima.
In this country, we've been known as one of the oldest and most likely the biggest ISP in the country. We've been providing services of internet in Blantyre, in Lilongwe, in Zuzu and Zomba. We did this because our business model in the internet business is focusing on the corporate market. So if you look at Malawi, corporate is actually in these four main big cities. But of late, we've been having so many inquiries, predominantly when we introduced our 4G packages because they become so popular in the land. So you find that organizations that have got either branches in the peri-urban areas and rural markets, they were inquiring whether we can actually be offering our 4G packages in their small little offices, whether they open it in Mulanje, in Kasungu, in Mangochi, Salima and the like. So we thought that it's a good idea now that we need to extend our reach to get into some of these peri-urban and some kind of district markets, and we thought we should be taking one at a time. So what we've done shortly is to do the Mangochi and Salima, and from there we're intending to move into Kasungu, we get to Mulanje, we go to Karonga, depending on when we do the assessment of the market and where we need to go first. So it is a significant jump because when you look at the results, when you talk about the tourism industry, hospitality industry, you can never skip Mangochi, you can never skip Salima. The reason why we took this first is purely because of that. So we thought, let's take a move to get into these markets, offer the same services that we're offering in town, but now getting into the peri-urban centers. And that's the strategic reason why we've gone to Mangochi and Salima.
Just a reminder, how significant is 4G internet?
So obviously when you look at the broadband segments of the business, you've got what we use currently on the fiber, but you've got the wireless. So when you get the wireless technology, 4G at the moment is the latest technology. And people want broadband, but wireless, they get it in the 4G technology. And that's the reason why when we rolled out our 4G technology in Blantyre, what actually made it very significant is because of the packages we have. So if you look at the country at the moment, we offer freedom packages, we offer loyalty packages, and we offer VOOM packages. No one has got these on the land. Just to give you an example, if you take a freedom package, what we're saying to a client is, subscribe to a freedom package, we'll give you 12 GB that you can use during the day. On top of that, we'll give you 75 GB that you can use overnight and the weekends. When you bundle this together, all you're asking for the customer is 37,500. And no one at the moment in the market from the ISP industry is offering such similar kind of product. So we've seen a lot of inquiries, a lot of people wanting to have it, and that's the reason why people that have got smaller operations in the peri-urban centers, they would prefer, because they will run an office with only 2 people, 12 GB can work during the day. They can use the same because you can carry with it, so they can use the same to go home and to continue working while they're in the house. That's the reason why this has become so popular. So in those markets, people have been looking for this type of product. Hence our move now getting into the peri-urban.
For Times in Blantyre, this is Daonga Sabola.
International foreign exchange trading firm Tailored Forex Trading has said Malawian youths could earn some forex and contribute to the growth of the economy if they master the art of forex trading. Tailored Forex Trading Chief Trading Officer CJ Muhango was speaking in Blantyre during a forex trading training the firm organized. Muhango explains in this interview.
What motivated the idea is we have done this training. We started the school in Zimbabwe 5 years ago. We built a school there, and the motivation of that school was because of the forex challenges in Zimbabwe, right? And after that, we started training people in Zimbabwe, and we decided to expand it into other African countries. So from Zimbabwe, we moved into Botswana, and now Tanzania and Zambia. And because I'm a Malawian-born person, I figured Malawi cannot miss out on the opportunity, right? A lot of African countries are struggling with growth and job opportunities. All the universities in Malawi are failing to find jobs for all their graduates, right? and this is the way of Malawians to self-empower themselves. It's an opportunity for people to earn an income. I'm also starting an organization, so I'm going to employ about 15 people this year who will be working in my firm, trading for the business. We are also applying for a special economic zone so that eventually our courses will be inherited into university modules, so that it goes into the banking system. In South Africa, forex trading is a big thing, even in the banks. I mean, some of the biggest banks in South Africa, the biggest earner is forex trading, right? And in our other African countries, because of regulation and other issues, it has taken long for them to adopt it, right? And we have taken it upon ourselves to bring it here individually, and we are speaking to the Reserve Bank and Ministry of Finance and executive of banks to kind of adopt what we are trying to achieve. Now, it's helped us. I've been an entrepreneur for 7 years, and this is how I make my money. This is how I live. This is how I'm able to live here and enjoy it, And it's a great opportunity. We've had a great turnout today for the training. I'm flying out at 4:30 to Lilongwe. We're training people in Lilongwe tomorrow. So that's what we're doing. Our last few trainings is the next 2 weeks in Zambia and Tanzania. Then we're going to take a break for a few weeks, but we'll continue that.
Okay, how crucial is it for Malawi to have trained forex dealers?
Okay, so we are traders, and that's what people need to understand the difference. A dealer is a person who books a trade. So dealers get pricing, and they book live trades. What we do is that we anticipate the movement of the market, right? And there's a technical skill to it. There's a lot of training that goes into it, right? And we anticipate the movement of the market, and if the market is going to move up, we know it's going to move up, and we'll make money from that. If the market is going to move down, we know that it's going to move down, we'll make money from that.
And okay, just a bit of some background about tailored forex trading.
So tailored forex trading, I opened tailored forex trading in South Africa. It's also registered in South Africa, and I opened it 2012, right? And the reason is because I decided I want to trade, right? And we've been doing it in South Africa for a while. We don't train as much in South Africa because South Africa is already saturated with forex traders. So we decided, let's move it into Africa.
So others will be asking to say, after this training, what are your expectations from this group?
My expectations is, and I'll tell you the honest truth, is that every country we've been to, everyone is happy with the training, right? I wish I could show you the messages in the group, but everyone is happy with the training, right? But they'll also need another refresher course because you can't learn this game in one day. But at least you'll put them in a place where they can now start studying. We've got trading manuals that we're selling, and people can go through the manuals and we'll teach them how to trade. Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, so
remember, this is Business Time right here on Times Television. It is a magazine program in which we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. We'll be right back.
Now you can access the Daily Times, Malawi News, and the Sunday Times newspapers anytime, anywhere, by the click of a mouse or a swipe on your smartphone. With eTimes, right on your mobile gadget. Flip through the pages with a swipe or a click. Navigate through all pages and see clear pictures and designs. Access a database of previous papers of the Daily Times, Malawi News, and the Sunday Times. Easy. Subscribe now to eTimes. Go to www.times.mw/e-edition. Sign up and log in. Enter your password and enjoy the newspaper. It's about time.
Welcome back. The European Union has challenged accountants in the country to adhere to professional standards if the country is to avoid theft of public resources. EU team leader for economic, trade and governance sanctions, Jose Navarro, made the remarks in Blantyre during a student debate on transparency and accountability that the Institute of Chartered Accountants in Malawi, ICAM, held at Soch Technical College. We have the detail in this report.
Navarro says it is important for up-and-coming accountants to know standards in accounting which are essential for the country's economic growth as they provide financial information that is useful in decision-making.
I mean, for us, governance is a key priority area of support for Malawi. Malawi's governance standards are still quite low, and we have had, of course, emanating from Cashgate and many other scandals, which, no country is immune to malpractice. But Malawi standards are low, and we want the youth, the future generations of Malawians, of accountants and of Malawians leaders to be aware, to discuss and to make sure that the ethical standards are increased. And this starts with them. It doesn't start with us, it starts with them. So this is a way to achieve that goal.
ICAM Chief Executive Officer Francis Gondwe says it is a concern that the country continues to register cases of plunder of public resources.
As the ICAM, speaking for ICAM, I would say we're not doing very well. That is why within our structures we have put in place a disciplinary committee which is responsible for disciplining errand accountants. Last year we were able to conclude 10 cases. This year we should be able to conclude maybe about 10 or so. As ICAM, we regard these debates as very important because for a number of reasons. As you could see, we're able to see the students building confidence, which is very important, but also communication skills. You could see that the students were able to express themselves freely. And as ICAM, this is what we want to encourage. We know that the students are very good at technical subjects, but we also want to build the soft skills.
The debate was conducted under a topic relevance of accounting standards to economic growth, and Pact College, who opposed the motion, emerged the winner after defeating Malawi College of Accountancy, who were on the defending side. Edna Abraham from Pact College commended ICAM for organizing the debate.
I'm very excited to be the winner of this debate. It's not about finding who the loser is or who is the winner is, but I'm very excited because I've learned a lot of things, like how the economy of this country is and how these accounting standards are relevant or irrelevant to this economic growth of this country.
EU is supporting the national competition, whose semi-final stage will take place later in the central region.
Proceeding with the program, let us now have a look at how the Malawi kwacha is faring against major trading currencies on the foreign exchange market. Pawn shops are popular in the United States, with 30 million people visiting more than 11,000 stores every year. Most are small independent businesses where customers buy and sell items or get a quick cash loan. For people without credit or other financial resources, pawn shops can help them get the money they need. While many people have a negative idea of pawn shops as seed places, the business has changed for the better over the past 30 years, as VOA's Deborah Block discovered.
You never know what you will find in a pawn shop. Where else can you find a snowblower parked next to a mink jacket? Or a 19th century French-made clock surrounded by modern-day laptops? Eric Reiser, the owner of several pawn shops in Virginia, would like more people to see what the stores are really like.
You don't see artwork and antiques and rugs. The pawn shops are the new cool place to come into. It's the new chic place.
To also find high-end jewelry, bars made of silver, and collectible sports memorabilia.
We had an original Picasso here, some of the high-end watches, the Rolexes. We actually had a bird head that I had sold to one gentleman that the bird had been extinct for over 100 years.
While sales bring in money, pawn shops make most of their income through cash loans to customers in exchange for an item of value. There is also interest on the loan that is higher than a bank rate. If the money is repaid in 30 days, then the customer gets their item back. Otherwise, the store keeps it for resale. Mike Thoman, manager at Top Dollar Pawn in Waldorf, Maryland, says the average loan is $150.
People don't have any other outlet. you know, to be able to get the money they need to get through the week, say, or put some gas in the tank, or pay the electric bill.
Anthony Ruggiero is pawning some items to help pay for his wedding.
I'm getting married in 3 months. I bought a ring here last week. I own a business, so as checks come in from that, I'll buy my stuff back.
Not all customers are looking for a loan. Some, like Austin Ballard, a music producer in Virginia, come to shop.
It's so much fun to pick up an old instrument that you know is like for instance, an old 50s or 60s Gibson Les Paul, and just to know there's probably a lot of history with that. You know, you never know where a guitar's been. It might be on a record you've heard on the radio.
Like other pawn shops, Top Dollar Pawn has taken a hit from secondhand merchandise being sold on the internet. Although owner Michael Cohen realizes more pawn shops like his may have to start selling items online to survive, he still thinks the brick-and-mortar stores are here to stay.
There's a lot of people that just pawn shop. They just go from pawn shop to pawn shop looking for a good deal. We definitely have our regulars that like to come in here and bargain with us every week.
Because you'll never know what hidden treasures you'll find. Deborah Block, VOA News.
Now you can access the Daily Times, Malawi News, and the Sunday Times newspapers anytime, anywhere, by the click of a mouse or a swipe on your smartphone. With eTimes, right on your mobile gadget. Flip through the pages with a swipe or a click. Navigate through all pages and see clear pictures and designs. Access a database of previous papers of the Daily Times, Malawi News, and the Sunday Times. Easy. Subscribe now to eTimes. Go to www.times.mw/e-edition. Sign up and log in. Enter your password and enjoy the newspaper. It's about time.
With that international news item, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time, right here on Times Television, a magazine program in which we bring you major business and economic news stories happening in Malawi and beyond. Until next week, on behalf of the entire production team, my name is William Kumwembe. But always remember, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. Bye for now.